They say blood is thicker than water, but what happens when that blood betrays you? My own flesh and blood stabbed me in the back when I needed him most. He didn't just betray my trust. He stole what I worked hard for, laughed in my face, and thought I'd stay broken. But fate had other plans, and in the end, I took the very thing he wanted most, his dream job. Let me tell you the story. If you love true stories of betrayal and payback, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next. If you subscribe, I'll keep you updated on our latest videos. Now let's begin. My cousin and I grew up almost like brothers. We played together, studied together, even dreamed together. Everyone in the family used to say, "These two will build an empire someday." We were inseparable until the world started pulling us apart after high school. Our parents believed that if you work hard, success will find you. So they pushed us to study our hardest and make them proud. As I grew up, I learned that life doesn't always go according to plan. But no matter what happened, I knew I had my cousin's support. We told each other everything. We shared dreams and fears. We promised to be there for each other no matter what. But everything changed when we both graduated from college. We both studied business because we wanted to honor our parents' sacrifices and make them proud. We also both fell in love with the same field, so naturally, we started competing with each other. At first, it was friendly. We motivated each other, gave tips, and shared resources. It was great for both of us. We were both pushing ourselves harder than we ever had before. But then things started to get weird. We both had our eyes set on the same dream job at one of the biggest firms in the city. It was the perfect entry point into the world of business, and we both wanted it. To prepare for the interviews, we started studying together, going over questions, practicing answers, and talking through potential scenarios. But as the days went by, I started noticing some red flags. My cousin seemed to know the answers to every question, even ones that hadn't been asked yet. I tried not to think too much about it and just focus on my own preparation. But then I found out he had stolen my laptop and taken all my prep notes. When I confronted him, he denied everything. He said that he didn't know what I was talking about and that he hadn't seen my laptop since I lent it to him last year. I was confused and hurt. I couldn't believe that he would do something like that. After that incident, I decided to focus on myself again. I didn't want to waste my energy on people who weren't worth it. I put everything I had into preparing for the interviews and waited for the results. The interviews went well. I felt confident that I had done everything I could have done to prepare for them. But then I heard from others that my cousin had gotten the job offer. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that he had beaten me. I had worked so hard for this and I had given it my all. But in the end, it wasn't enough. The next day, I got the official rejection letter from the company. They said that they had chosen another candidate whose skills and experience were a closer match for the position. I was devastated. I felt like I had failed my parents and myself. But I knew that I had to pick myself up and move on. I didn't want to let my cousin win. I wanted to prove to him that I was capable of achieving my dreams. He called me that night and said, "Sorry, bro, guess I was just better." Then he laughed. That laugh echoed in my ears for weeks. I remember sitting in my room staring at the walls, unable to sleep or eat. I felt like giving up. I felt like I had nothing left to fight for. But then, something inside me snapped. I realized that I wasn't going to let my cousin destroy me. I wasn't going to let him win. I started taking on more work. I worked long hours and didn't go out with friends or have fun. I was determined to make a name for myself and prove that I was capable of great things. After years of hard work, my efforts paid off. I received an email from the same company asking if I was interested in applying for a senior role. The job was perfect for me. It paid well, had great benefits, and was exactly what I was looking for. I knew that this was my chance to prove myself, and I was determined to seize it. This time around, I left nothing to chance. I researched the company thoroughly, practiced interview questions, and made sure that my resume was perfect. I knew that if I didn't do everything right this time, I might not get another chance. The interviews were tough, but I was prepared. I answered questions confidently and showed the interviewers that I was capable of handling the job. A few weeks later, I got the call. They offered me the job, and I accepted without hesitation. I was so happy and excited to start this new chapter in my career. Little did I know that fate had a special surprise in store for me. On my first day at work, I walked into the office and saw him. My cousin was working as an intern in the same department as me. His eyes widened in surprise and he looked uncomfortable. I could see the shock and fear on his face. I knew that this was the perfect chance to get my revenge. When we were younger, he had bragged about getting a job at the company, and I had lost the position to him because of his betrayal. Now I was in a position of power, and I could use that to get back at him. I could make his life miserable and give him the taste of his own medicine. But as I looked at him standing there awkwardly, I realized that wouldn't be the best revenge. He was already suffering the consequences of his actions. He was stuck in an entry-level position while I was in a leadership role. He looked defeated and unhappy. And as I watched him walk away, I realized that the best revenge was watching him suffer. The best revenge was seeing him realize that he had made a mistake. As I settled into my new job, I tried to forget about my cousin and focus on my work, but he kept finding ways to make himself known. He would come up to me with questions about tasks that I had nothing to do with. He would ask for advice on things that he should have known the answer to. He was trying to get under my skin, but I wasn't going to let him succeed. He made a big mistake when he crossed me. He had stolen my job and my trust, but he had underestimated my resilience and determination. Now he was paying the price, and I wasn't going to make it any easier for him. One day, I was assigned to a project that involved working closely with other departments, including my cousins. I knew that this was another chance to get back at him, to show him that I was in charge. But instead of using this opportunity to belittle him or make him suffer, I decided to do something else entirely. I treated him with respect and kindness. I listened to his ideas and valued his input. I praised him for his hard work and dedication. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but this was the best revenge of all. I was showing him that I wasn't like him. I wasn't going to stoop to his level or engage in his toxic behavior. As the project progressed, my cousin started to become more comfortable around me. He began to open up and share his thoughts and ideas. He started to become more engaged in his work and more enthusiastic about his job. I could see the transformation taking place before my eyes. He was becoming a better version of himself, a version that was more confident, more capable, and more resilient. In the end, the project was a success, and my cousin played an important role in that success. He was recognized for his hard work and contributions and praised by his colleagues and supervisors. It was a moment of pride for me. I had helped him become the best version of himself, and he had achieved something great. Looking back, I am proud of the way I handled the situation. I could have easily succumbed to the temptation of revenge, but instead, I chose to rise above it. I chose to show my cousin that I wasn't like him. I chose to show him that betrayal and toxic behavior would not win in the end. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more inspiring stories. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.